Be blah, blah, blah.
We can count back 400 years. Look, they took my name, my language, my culture. They killed my mother, my father, denied me religion, disallowed me to read or write for over 300 years. They reduced me to the level of an animal where they branded me on my chest, branded me on my buttocks with a branding iron. And they called me 3/5 of a human being in the American Constitution. Is that the act of a human being or the act of a devil?
Have the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread?
Let's deal with common sense. The Egyptians of antiquity, not the Egyptians you see today in that land, okay? That you suck that land, push those real Egyptians out into the Sudan, okay, into the Sudanese, over there. Understand that? The Ottoman Turks and Arabs got together and pushed them out. So when you understand it's the Egyptians of antiquity that I asked about, what color were they? I'm asking you. Know, yo. We don't know. Everybody knows. They were black.
The evil that men should turn their brothers into beasts of burden, to slave and suffer in dumb anguish, be stripped of spirit and hope and faith, only because they are of another race, another creed.
Listen, where's your kingdom? Where's your land? Where's your castles? Before Alexander, name it, you can't, because it does not exist.
Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. It's your favorite brothers from Salt of the Earth, Brother Elisha, Brother Najee, Brother Banya, and the elder brother Cleo. We have a really important topic that we have to discuss today. And matter of fact, we have to come back to this subject over and over and over and over again until our people are united under what the Most High said. Now, we're not coming at you in a grammatical argument. We're not coming at you with pronunciation. We're coming at you with the history, some things you might have seen, some things you probably have not seen, and we're coming at you with what the Most High said. We also want you to use some deductive reasoning. I'll give you an example. If a person say they went to work today and their job is in the city that they live in, you can't then ask them, did they go on vacation in England on the same day? You have to say, yo, if they was at work here, and then they say that state is New York, you can't then say, well, did they go to England? Did they go to Barbados? Using deductive reason, you have to say to yourself that that person had to be in the place that they work at. They couldn't have been nowhere else. So you can't ask what you did in England. You can't ask what you did in Barbados. You would know just from that very question, just because they were at the place they were supposed to be, that nothing else could be true but that. So, brother Najee, one of the brothers, can y'all pull up for me? Unless y'all brothers want to speak to the people real quick, pull up Revelations for me. Revelations 14 and 1.
I got it, bro.
I got it. Just right, go ahead. Go for it.
All right.
Go for it, bro.
Okay, I'll pull it up.
We're gonna read this and then we're gonna make a bold assertion that we're going to prove. We thought we proved it in the name video, but some of our loyal brothers and sisters that come to our videos, to our discussions, our lessons, still say a name that we might not say. And remember, we're not talking about pronunciation. Because though we recognize the name the Most High gave in a certain place, we're not saying we definitely have the pronunciation right. All we know that's what's sealed in our minds is the letters that was in that verse. Revelation 14:1, my brother. 14:1. You want to read that for me? I keep you on mind.
There we go. Sure, no problem, bro. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads.
So the 144,000 have the Father's name written in their forehead. Now let's just get to the skinny of the subject. Is the Most High's name in Exodus 3:14, or is it in Exodus 3:15? Our assertion that is in Exodus 3:14. Our assertion is that no variant of the YHWH, YHUH, YHVH, Yahoo, any of the what's the other one they got that some of the camps use? We're saying all of those are false. All of those are later insertions. And we're going to prove to you right now, unequivocally, that it was at least inserted in the book of Genesis. Now, there's some ambiguity whether Exodus 6:3, that the Most High revealed his name to Moses, or according to some brothers that quote Genesis 4:26, that the patriarchs had the Most High's name. We're going to show you unequivocally that the Most High never revealed his name up until Moses. But what does that mean after that? If the Most High never revealed his name until Moses, then we got a problem with places like Mount Moriah. We got a problem with Moses' mother's name, Jochebed. We got a problem with Jehovah Jireh. We got a problem with the name Judah. If the Most High never revealed his name, then Judah can't possibly be called Yahuwah, Yahweh, or whatever way you want to slice it is praised. It's impossible. Now, if the Most High did reveal his name to the patriarchs and they was running around saying the name, then obviously it's possible. So we're going to see what our fathers said. We're going to see what the contemporaries during the temple period said. Let's go to Exodus 6:3, brother, and then we're going to quote. We're going to look at two contemporaries that was around, brothers who were actually Israelites. Not the Christian teacher, not the white man who brought us into slavery and taught us what he wanted to teach us, not the Jewish Masoretes, not the Ish people in the land that's telling us to use Adonai and Hashem and all these things. What did the brothers say that actually had a genuine article of the scriptures? What did they read when they went into the manuscript? So let's read. Brother, read verse 3 for me, please.
And I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob by the name of God Almighty, but by my name Jehovah was I not known.
So we can just scratch the Jehovah thing. We know that's a Catholic insertion. But say you use Yahuwah, whatever. Did the Most High say his name to the patriarchs? Is this saying the Most High never revealed his name up until Moses? Or is it saying that he did? Bro, grab up the PowerPoint that we did the lesson on, that we thought we brought this thing home, and bring that up and just go to the slide where we talk about this subject. If you could just scroll down, and we can go to the part where we see what Josephus says happened, and we can see what Philo said happened. And in those places, we're going to establish a base. Whatever you feel about Philo personally, I don't know how you can feel anything because you never know him. A lot of scholars use them. They use them when it suits them according to their theology. I don't know what you might have against Josephus. Some people say he was a traitor. You didn't know him personally. Some people use his writing as documented history. So we'll use it as that. Pull up the PowerPoint. And this is look, there's not a greater of importance lesson that we can give outside of the deliverance of our people. So we're going to establish something. If the YHWH and all its variants are true, then it should be no need to insert them into Genesis. Should be no need to insert them anywhere. So if anybody can pull the PowerPoint up for me.
Hey, Brother Bonia, do you have the PowerPoint readily available?
Yeah, just a second. Give me a moment. I'll pull it up right now.
Well, while the brothers pulling up, I'm gonna kill some of the suspense. Both Josephus and Philo say the Most High never revealed a name until Moses. So when you look at
Okay.
the Yahwehists, they got this thing, the Yahwehists, and they use the J document, and I believe the W document, to say that it was a history that the patriarchs, starting with Seth, was saying the name of the Most High is a lie. Not only is it a lie, but that the Septuagint tells you exactly. Not only the Septuagint tells you what Genesis 4 and 26 should say, what Philo said Genesis 4 and 26 should say, and even Josephus tells you what Genesis 4 and 26 should say. Now we're going to show you the slides because it looks real pretty, and it definitely disseminates the information the way we want to. So when the brother pulls that up, you'll see for yourself what they said regarding those verses. Because you might have a person say, well, even
Which page of the slide do you want me to pull up?
matter of fact, scroll down till you see Exodus 6 and 3. It's not far when you first get into the slideshow. I'm gonna open it up now on my part so I can tell you the exact page, which I should have did ahead of time. But I'm opening it up now, and I'm gonna tell you exactly which page to go to. 1 second.
Forgive me, I seem to be having a little bit of lag on my computer right now. So it's
Don't worry
taking
about it.
a
This is an
moment for the
important
PowerPoint.
subject. Y'all should stick around. Call your brothers, call your friends, tell them to ask us
All right.
questions. There we go. Scroll down, and I'll tell you when to stop. I'll give you on mine.
Okay. Can you see it?
Well, I see it. We're even going to show you what Exodus 3 and 15 should say. Like, how did the contemporaries of that period look at Genesis 3:15? Did they see another name outside of what the Most High explicitly, or the Almighty
Make sure I'm
explicitly told
sharing it.
Moses to say to the children of Israel? I got this phone I'm trying to open it up on, and it's the hardest thing. Open it up on this phone. But no worries. If y'all really want to hear the truth, y'all stick around. If you don't want to hear the truth, you find where you at.
Is this it right here?
That's right.
Genesis
So
in the name of God.
Right. Put that up, please. If you look right, there's a book called the Tetragrammaton Before Moses, and that's where we see a foundation of teachings that people actually were saying the name of the Most High starting at 4 and 26. And we're going to prove that that's an unequivocal lie, that nobody was saying his name at that time because it wasn't given. So at best, you can say, okay, if it wasn't given in Genesis 4 and 26, if it wasn't given any time after that and up to Moses, that is a clear insertion into the scripture. Certain prominent places was clearly had those names or had those attachments inserted into it. You have to say to yourself, doesn't the Bible say don't add to or take away? Did the Most High say if you add to the book, I will add to you the plagues that are written in the book? So even if his name is right according to Genesis 3:15, they added it to Genesis. Why would they do that if it was there? Why do that at all? So, looking at that, it says the Tetragrammaton between Moses. You can
Is this the
look that
right
book
one
up.
right here? Is it the right page?
Now, that's not the right one, but I do want the people to see this is the foundation when people started saying that Genesis 4 and 26 states that the most men started to call on the name of the Most High. And I'm sure some of you might even quoted it, but that's not the case. It says, according to the Yahweh's traditions, the worship of Yahweh can be traced to remote antiquity. To Seth also was born a son. To Seth also a son was born, and he called on the name of Enos. And at that time, men began to call upon the name of the Lord. And they have the YHWH. So it says, as we have seen, Genesis 4 and 26 contains a tradition that the divine name was known in antiquity. Scroll up some, bros, get to the part where we talk about Exodus 6 and 3. So we already have a foundation that a lot of people go by, that Genesis, that Seth was calling on the name of the Most High. Right, let's see. Right here, let's read right here. What did Philo say?
Is it this one?
Right there, that's fine, bro. We can start off in the yellow part. What did Philo say?
I got you.
Regarding the Most High's name? We can go back to
Right
the
here?
previous slide. Now, the one that we was just at with the book of Philo. Right there, bro. Brother, yeah. Brother Najee,
right.
I mean, Brother
This
Banya, if
one?
you don't mind, can you read the highlighted? Yes. The where it says, "For I have not shown them my name."
The All right, so it says in the book of Philo on the change of names, it says, "For I have not shown them my name," and it references Exodus 6:3, and it says, "For by a slight change in the figure of speech here used, the meaning of what is said would be something of the kind, my proper name I have not revealed to them, but only that which is commonly used, though
Pause
with
right there, bro.
some misapplication."
Now, the reason I want to highlight it says, "But only that which was commonly used," because whatever a nation used is a title for God, or Lord, or controller, or being. That's what people used. If you read the book of Daniel, Daniel didn't have a problem with using the word Allah that the Babylonians used. He didn't have a problem with it because it just meant God. He didn't trip over it. It's a generic title that the Most High allowed. If you read the book of Philo, everybody going crazy. Oh, the word God, the word Lord, and we going nuts about it. It's a title. It's a way to reverence the Creator. Men have to make up something. They have to say, "Hey, listen, the one who created all things, they don't know what to call him." And he didn't give them that dubious honor. He gave it to us. But we'll continue. So we see here that Philo says the name was not revealed. And if you go back up a little bit, it says the ruler of the universe speaks of the proper name of God never having been revealed to anyone when God is represented as saying to Moses. Is that not clear enough? The Most High never revealed a name until Moses.
Hey, bro,
Is it
could,
not
could I read?
understood?
Could I
Go
read
ahead.
this?
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
Could I read this whole thing out for
Absolutely,
them?
brother.
Just not the highlighted part, but where. All right, so it says in the book of Philo on the change of names, and this is I believe this is chapter 13, and it says, "For these men have need of complete use of the divine name, who come to the created or mortal generation, in order that if they cannot obtain to the best thing, they may at least arrive at the best possible name, and arrange themselves in accordance with that. And the sacred oracle, which is derived as from the mouth of the ruler of the universe, speaks of the proper name of God never having been revealed to anyone when God is represented as saying," and again, "For I have not shown them my name," represent Exodus 6:3. "For by a slight change in the figure, speech here is used, the meaning of what is said would be something of the kind, my proper name I have not revealed to them, but only that which is commonly used, though with some misapplication, because of the reason of above mentioned." All right.
Now,
So
go
I
ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
it's basically just to expound on, just to simplify it. He's saying that he did not reveal his name to anybody else, and that he allowed others to call him by certain names because that would give them somewhat of an understanding of what to arrive at.
Absolutely. And so let's and we're gonna cut to the meat of it. If it is true, if it's plausible that the Most High didn't reveal the name of the Most, and we're gonna go to five, we're gonna go to Josephus. We're going to see what Josephus said. They're both contemporaries, and no matter what you feel about them, no matter what you've been told about them, people cite these brothers all the time. These are Israelites. These are people of our stock. Not the not what's the ball name that Esau always running after, John MacArthur and a lot of these other teachers they got. These are our brothers who wrote down and chronicled our history. And they're saying the Most High never revealed a name. So the question you got to ask yourself, if this is true, then they inserted it purposely into Genesis for starting at the first chapter. It's a purpose thing. They did it on purpose. But why would you do that if you know it's not there? What would be the purpose of changing the names of people, changing the names of locations? What would be the purpose of that? If it's unequivocal that the Most High gave a name in Genesis 3:15, why would you even do that? Wouldn't you be worrying about your own salvation? Of course they're not worried about it, because it's not for them. The Jewish Masoretes, it's not for them. It's not for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man at your local church. It's not for them. They gave us these things. I'll throw something out there that will prove as well. There is no source material that where the YHWH is written 7,000 times. Why we keep quoting that? There's no source material. It's a cat by the name of Asher ben Judah from back in the 9th century, he was a Jewish Masoret, and he corrected a document where the Jewish scribe or the Jewish Masoretes put it into their Bible or their scripture 7,000 times, and people just parroted the damn thing. It does not even cite what they used. Go ahead, brother. No problem.
Well, what do you mean when you say he corrected a document?
Well, when they find ancient material, we'll use the Dead Sea Scrolls for cats that's like thinking about the Isaiah scroll. It's a reason why they didn't reveal the scroll for over 50 years after they found it, because they went into it and they used certain processes to correct things on an ancient document. And they called them like sublinear corrections and different corrections that they did when they called themselves correcting words. They said they wanted to go over the ancient scribes that they had no way of knowing. They put their foreign pin on it when they have no kinship or family to the brothers who did write it, and they started to correct it. Correct it. Well, that's what the boy Asher ben Judah was for. He was the go over. He had another brother, I believe his name was Aaron, and he was the actual scribe. And they had a long-standing tradition that they had a translation where they would just keep on. And these things were after the Nakud, after the vowel points. So they had a document that nobody knows about where they transcribed Adonai over 7,000 times. The Christian church said, bet. They just jumped all over and said, bet. Adonai, because they use it for the Tetragrammaton, it must have been in there 7,000 times. And everybody jumped on it. There's no source material whatsoever that has YHWH in it 7,000 times, 5,000 times, 6,000 times. You can look it up for yourself. It's no material.
Hold on, brother. Question: Are you saying that they took ancient documents and wrote on them?
It's a fact that they took the ancient Dead Sea Scrolls, they held it in a damn office for over 50, 60 years, and they put a modern pin into it. It's all over the Isaiah scroll. They put 4 dots in certain places. They put Adon or Adonai in certain places. They chose to do. They even took something that was called the modern Hebrew, and they added that Paleo Hebrew to it, where you see a tetragrammaton. A lot of people use it as proof. Is a reason that you see that in a lot of ancient documents that for some reason the word of the Most High is always written in Paleo Hebrew, while the rest of the document is in Greek. Some of the document is in the Vedic script or the modern script, or what they call Aramaic. Nobody ever says anything. Oh, they just want to keep the integrity of the name. Well, if they want to keep the integrity of the name, don't you know that the ancient way of writing the Most High name would be in the pictographic Hebrew? If you really wanted to stay true to what Moses actually saw, you would have been looking at the pictographic. You wouldn't even be looking at the Paleo. You would be looking at the pictographic Hebrew, which would be represented as a bull's head. You would see the yod that looks like an open mouth or a hand. That's what you would see. And if you go online, you can look at what the Most High's name would look at in the pictographic. But for some reason, the Paleo became the standard. This is what brothers and sisters. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but I just want to make sure the audience is really grasping what you're saying here, right? They put a modern pin to ancient documents, right? Usually when you see these ancient documents or you see these ancient scrolls, they're encased in glass to protect the documents from wear and tear and from erosion, right? Mm-hmm. But they took these documents and they put a pin to these things in the effort of putting their version of the Tetragrammaton inside of these documents. I want you guys to really think about that, right? Think about it, because I think one of the 2 greatest deceptions that we got going on in the world is one, those that hide our identity of who we are, and those who hide the name of the Most High. You don't do something like that unless it's of great significance to a people that's against you.
That's right.
Right? They hid the name. They wrote on ancient documents. Now, I know there's brothers out there who talk about, the Jewish people, but then at the same time, you accept that they wrote these things on these documents. And I think we need to really stop being intellectually lazy and understand that those things that they wrote on there are not the proper name of the Most High.
And it didn't
Just
belong
because
to
they
him,
were there before you got it don't mean that's the Most High's name.
And it didn't belong to them. This is not their history that they're writing on. What gives you the right to correct anything? They use something called superlinear additions, cancellation dots, and sublinear additions to correct an ancient document. Who do they plan to sell the thing? Is this something they plan on reading every Shabbat? They did these things. Brother, if you don't mind, if we can go back to the PowerPoint, because we only use one witness in Philo. We use the witness inside the Bible, but everybody think that's ambiguous. Let's see what let's see what Josephus said about the same place in the manuscript. What did Josephus say? And I can't stress this enough, that these are brothers who had a more untouched version of the scriptures, and they look like us. That has to mean something. When brothers is running around talking about who wrote this and who wrote that, we know for a fact that these brothers look like us. Somehow we've been sold a bill of goods that one was a trader and one was a philosopher. I don't care what he is. When he wrote about the manuscript, he wrote it as he seen it on paupers that was in the temple. That gotta mean something to you. That gotta trump some of the things that later on scholars gotta guess about. Let's scroll down a little bit. Scroll back.
You know
up,
what that is, though, bro?
What's that?
You know what that is, and sorry to interrupt, but you know what that is brothers want to use a religious perspective on things when it's convenient to them. It's
right.
a person talking about, whether Josephus or Philo was a believer in Christ is irrelevant. We're talking about the document of history. That's like you sitting here and you watching the news and you see that the Iranian war is happening, but because they don't believe the same thing that you believe, you're saying that what you're seeing on TV is not happening.
Bro, we can even do better than that.
We're not looking to these guys for spiritual advice. We're looking to them for historical accuracy.
That's right. And they lived. Let me tell you something. If you got a problem with their reading, more than likely that's the same thing Christ was reading from. When he said he went into the temple, he opened the book to read, and he read about the thing pertaining to himself. They read what Christ is looking at. And I don't see Christ running around in the scriptures or the Hamashiach running the scripture talking about, these things are wrong. When he said, I declared thy name unto them, to the people that was given to him. When he said the Most High's name, which is in Exodus 3:14, and they fell down backwards at the mere sound of it. I don't remember him saying the tetragrammaton when it happened. So I'm saying to the brother and sister, take away the thoughts they put in your mind regarding these things. They'll cite these same brothers when it suits them. And then they'll invalidate the brothers when it doesn't suit them. Mashiach is using the same scrolls because they lived at the same time. And if they're writing what they're seeing, why is it not matching up with what we're seeing now? And just when anybody would say, well, Josephus said it's a tetragrammaton. Well, the name that the Most High gave in Exodus 3:14 is a tetragrammaton. Aleph, Ha, Yod, Ha. It's 4 letters. It's 4 vowels. How's it that we didn't notice that? How's it that we didn't understand that this is 4 letters too? Bro, let's go down to the slide. Here, let's go to slide. Can't see the number, but it's the one right over some facts. You got to scroll back up because you're past it. It's like the 5th or 6th slide. Let's go to that. That's the one where we got for Josephus. Right over the one, right there. Stop right there, bro.
One right here.
And when it says never been
right
discovered.
Under, is this it?
Yeah, the one. Yeah, there you go. Let's read what Josephus says on this same subject. Did
All right,
Josephus
so
agree with
you want me to
Philo,
read
who are
Josephus'
contemporaries?
part?
Just Josephus' part.
All right. All right, so it says in Josephus chapter 11, Antiquities of the Jews, book 2, containing the intervals of 220 years from the death of Isaac to the exodus out of Egypt. Chapter 12, concerning the burning bush and the rod of Moses. And it says in chapter 4, 275 paragraph, Moses, having now seen and heard these wonders, and assured him of the truth of these promises of God, had no room left him to disbelieve them. He entreated him to grant him the power when he should be in Egypt, and besought him to vouchsafe him the knowledge of his own name. And since he had heard and seen him, that he would also tell him his name, that when he offered sacrifice, he might invoke him by such his name in his oblation. Whereupon God declared to him his holy name, which had never been discovered to men before, concerning which it is not lawful for me to say anymore. All right.
So, brother, did he say he
He's
revealed
basically
it, or it
reiterating.
never had been revealed?
He
I'm
said
sorry,
it
bro, you
never
saying?
been revealed.
Never.
No,
So
it's
that's
saying that he
out of
had
the
never
mouth,
revealed it.
never revealed it. So out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses,
I had
we see the
never been discovered. All right.
never been discovered. So if it never been discovered, and I mean, this is proven by brothers and sisters, or brothers who had the genuine article of the scripture, at least according to their time, because we know what they had. But we know this: Christ or the Mashiach used what they were using. Josephus himself being a Pharisee. So if we know that these brothers are saying that the Most High never really named, so where does all the hoopla about the Most High was? That is all in Genesis. Let's see one of the biggest arguments in Genesis that people use to say the Most High's name was there. Brother, scroll down a little bit right to it shouldn't be far from where you at now. We're going to look at what Genesis says in the King James Bible. Then we're going to look at what Genesis says in the Septuagint. The difference between the two is that the King James Version is never used to translate the Septuagint. But converse to that, or a total parallel to that, the Septuagint is actually used in part to help translate the King James Bible. And we're going to see what it says in that book. Go scroll down more, bro. We're going to scroll down to Genesis 4. Is that the one that says for Genesis 4 and 26? I think it is. Scroll up some.
Which one is this?
You just passed it. You passed
This
the
one
one
right
that
here.
says
The meaning of the Enos.
Nah, we got to go up some right there where it says the meaning
Here it is,
of
right here.
Enos.
126.
Yeah. So like that.
This one?
There you go. Yeah, that one right there. Now, this is what we see inside the book of Genesis as far as the King James Version. Brother Bonnie Ryan reading that, or Brother Najee? In fact, I'll read it real quick.
It says the meaning of Enos. All right.
If y'all hear us talking over just because we got a little delay, probably on my end. So forgive me, brother, if I interrupt you. You can go ahead and read Genesis.
All right, so am I reading or you reading?
Yeah. You reading it, bro.
Okay. All right. So Genesis 4:26 says, and to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord.
Sounds straightforward enough. That seems to be where the contention is at. That men began to call on the name of the Lord, and we obviously see the capital letters of the Lord, and a lot of brothers say, yeah, see, the Most High name was here in this verse. In the King James, this is what it says. Now let's go to the book that the King James was in part translated from or transcribed from. Scroll down to the next slide, Ikey. We're going to look at 3 citations. Josephus, Philo, and the Septuagint and see what it really should say. This right here is Philo. You mind, brother, reading that?
All right, so this is from Philo, and it's titled that the worst is want to attack the bitter. All right, so it says in the highlighted part, it says, and here again we shall have no need of any other witnesses than Moses, for he tells us that the name of the son of Seth was Enos, and Enos being interpreted means hope. He hoped first, says Moses, to call upon the name of the Lord his God.
Pause right
Again,
there,
it says
Ikey.
he hoped first. He hoped first.
You already repeated. Exactly.
All right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
So he hoped first, says Moses, to call upon the name of the Lord his God.
He hoped first. So are we just looking too deep into that? Is he speaking euphemistically? Is it like something that we're just grabbing hold of? Let's continue then. Did men call on the name of the Lord, or did they hope to call on the name of the Lord? Because this is very clear that the Most High then starts to choose a people for himself. Everybody hoped to call on him. That's how you got many lords and many gods on earth. But the Most High chose a nation to put his name on. Let's continue. We're going to see if we're just reaching with this. Go down to the next slide. Let's go down to our next citation. Matter of fact, we're going to skip over that one. Scroll down again. We're going to go to Josephus. We're not going to go even break down this part. Let me see if this is it. Should click on that one, bro. Now let's continue. Let's go. We'll scroll down a little bit more, bro. We're going to pass over all the etymology. Here we go, right here. Go down to the one with the Septuagint. So we're going to look at what the Septuagint says in the same verse. Does the Septuagint say men called on the name of the Lord, or they hope to call on the name of the Lord? Read that, bro.
All right, so this is, again, the Septuagint is referencing Genesis 4:26. And it says, and Seth had a son, and he called his name Enos, and he hoped to call on the name of the Lord.
Lord being Adon or Adanya, Lord, sovereign. God being Elohim, Allah, whatever way you want to slice it, being a title for the creator. Not Yahweh Elohim. But it says he hoped to call on the name of the Lord, his God, which is broken down clearly by our brothers that say that the Most High allowed for us to call one of his angels Lord, which was his ruling authority, and he allowed someone to call him God.
I got a question, bro.
Yeah, bro.
The Septuagint, is that the earliest translations that you can find?
The Septuagint is the most notable Greek translation that was used to translate a lot of our modern Bibles. The Latin Vulgate, sometimes they use the Lippal Codex, sometimes they use the Leningrad Codex with different parts. They usually give everybody a little piece. I don't know why they do that, but they use a bunch of different translations. But the Septuagint is one of the main ones that's used as a translating vehicle to translate your modern Bibles, is the Septuagint.
Is there any others that rival the Septuagint?
Not from that period. Some say the Aramaic New Testament, but a lot of times it's just the New Testament. The main thing that they use now in the rival of the Septuagint is the Dead Sea Scrolls. And Genesis 4 in the Dead Sea Scrolls is not even a complete. It don't even go up to verse 26. So you don't get a chance to compare it to what the Septuagint say, because if you go into the Dead Sea Scrolls, and believe you me, we have it, and we've gone into it, Genesis 4 and 26 is not in the Septuagint. I mean, I'm sorry, not inside the Dead Sea Scrolls. So there's no way to compare it. But a lot of people use that. This is why it was important that they held on to it for 50, 60 years, making little changes, sublinear changes, and all these other things, and then come back out with it, talk about this is what it says. All right, this is what Josephus, I believe, says. No, this is Philo again, I believe. Is this Philo? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got the citation out of Philo, we got the citation out of Septuagint that men had hoped to call on the name of the Most High. They didn't call on his name because then it would be a clear contradiction. It would be a clear contradiction on the end of Philo. It would be a clear contradiction on the end of Josephus. It'd be a clear contradiction on Exodus 6 and 3, because right up until now, we have a lot of ambiguity. A lot of people, oh no, it doesn't mean that. It could be saying that they did call on his name, but we see now that they didn't. So let's use deductive reasoning. If he didn't reveal his name, why do we have all the citations? Chiefly Judah, because I know some of you was told that Judah's name had the Most High name in it, and that was one of the key things that help you believe the Tetragrammaton. I'm almost can guarantee there's a bunch of people out there that say, yeah, the Most High's name is in Judah, and somebody broke it down for me. But contraire, mon frere, Judah never had the Tetragrammaton in it because it was never revealed. Even if it is his name, it was never revealed. So obviously a clear insertion. But we can even delve in it. I'm sorry, bro. You go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's definitely a contradiction. And what I think about is a question that the brother Cleo used to ask all the time concerning the Pharaoh when Moses came to him. When Moses came to him and he asked Moses of the Most High's name, the Pharaoh said that he didn't know that God. Mm-hmm. But it's shown that in ancient Egypt, they had the Tetragrammaton, that they knew that name. So how is it possible that they knew the name, the Tetragrammaton, but the Pharaoh did not know the name that Moses brought before him?
We did an AI deep dive into everything that been downloaded into the online that AI has downloaded into the cloud, and we asked those questions. Don't you know that the only name that would perfectly fit that scenario is the one the Most High gave in Exodus 3:14? It says it fit perfectly. We need to know what we should do, brother. We should pull up that whole exchange so y'all can see how deep it gets. How deep it gets regarding the coup that been put on our people. Like some of the things that we've been told, that we attached ourselves to, that we claim, we vouch for these things, having never searched them out. I can guarantee you this, most people in here only heard about the Moabite stone. Have you ever read the Moabite stone? Do you know that the temple that was in Shechem, if you read First Kings, it tells you that they put 2 golden calves in that temple? And that when the Moabite king, it tells you on the Moabite stone, he said he went into the temple and he took the vessels of Yahweh. What vessel do we have that depicts the Most High? Was it Rehoboam, Jeroboam, who said he took the 2 calves? So when you read the Moabite stone, that's not a testimony that that's the Most High's name. That's a testimony or a validation against the northern kingdom for making a idol that the Moabites took away. And they chronicled it, and everybody runs around wearing that on their chest. We'll look at this, right? I wanted to go to a part within here to show that the Most High's name is not only in the scriptures. I'm talking about the I am. Not only is it in the scriptures, but it's a lot of places where it's written that they purposely translated it to make it sound like a verb. Purposely made it look like it was just a straight Hayah situation. Did the Most High say his name was Hayah or I don't want to make it look like that's the proper pronunciation. Let's just say that whatever's written in Exodus 3:14, that's what he told Moses to tell the people. Bro, if you don't mind, let's pull that up real quick. In fact, we got it right in this document, so we ain't even got to do that. Go down to, if y'all go back and watch this lesson, we actually broke down every part in Genesis where the Tetragrammaton is, and we broke down what it should say. And so for the sake of not having y'all here for 7 hours, go back and watch this lesson where we broke down Genesis 4:26. We broke down Jehovah Jireh. We broke down, showed you what it says in the Dead Sea Scrolls, that all these insert, even what Judah's name is supposed to be, because technically, brother, we're not really Judah. The proper way to say our tribal name would actually be Jada or Yada, meaning praise. It wouldn't mean Yahweh is praise. It just would mean praise. Yada or Yahada. That's it. So even these Jewish people out here now that we seem to think we're the real Jews is using a fake rendition of what we really would be called. And if you go into this lesson right here, you'll see that we broke down, even show ancient artifacts from the Persians who had us written down as Yada.
Yeah, I want to say something though concerning that lesson. If you have issues with understanding certain level if you don't got any schooling behind you, or you need things to be made plain, don't even go to don't go to the lesson, because it's more so made for people who have a more scholarly level of understanding. It's a high level understanding in that lesson. So what I would say is, if you don't understand certain things and you need them to be made plain, that lesson is way above your head. The stuff that's in that lesson is for theologians to argue, scholars to argue. If you're not adept in understanding certain things, don't mess with that document. Don't mess with that law. Don't mess with that lesson, because you're not going to understand it. You're not going to even be able to get through it, because it's too high of understanding. That's why we're going back and we're doing what we're doing, so we can make it plain. Because brothers and sisters are still coming in the room and saying that name that is not his. We're not even supposed to be using this name anyway, but you're using false name. The tetragrammaton, however you wanna pronounce it, Yahuwah, Yehuda, that's not his name. And after we did that lesson, we put it out a couple of times, but it's too high understanding. So people are not watching it, and they're still saying your name. And like I said, one of the two most greatest conspiracies is to hide who we are and to hide the Most High's name. That's why we're still talking about it. But I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. That it needed to be said. And this is the thing too, is that a lot of times, and if you see some of the battles that we had to go through on Facebook, a lot of people's like, well, it's a grammatical issue. That grammatically, I am, as it's translated, because that wouldn't be really what it would say, but that is grammatically wrong. Well, this is the thing. Say the Most High just wanted to say his name was the. Say like, my name is the. Some brother gonna come along and say, no, that's grammatically incorrect. When I go up to the children of Israel, say, the has sent me to you. How is this something that the Most High said now turns into a grammatical debate? And I'm going to tell you where it falls short. We act as if the Most High's name is Hayat. It's not. It actually has the olive in front of it. The olive represented by Anake, or Ane, which is the Hebrew 595, and the Hebrew, I think, let me make sure, man. The Hebrew 595 and the Hebrew, we got it on our document. All of them representing I. And the reason this is important is because you'll see it in Exodus 3:12. You'll see it in Exodus 3:14. You'll see it in Exodus 4:12. That the Most High says, I am with thee. I am is supposed to represent the God of the presence. That I'm always there. Why do you think the Most High said, I am in the midst of you? Because he's letting you know it's the difference between an idol that you can walk out the door and leave him there, and I am always there in your presence. So he said, he told Moses to say, I am have sent me to you. Brothers is getting into grammar. And we're going to show something. Matter of fact, let me see if I can send this to you, Brother Najee or Brother Banya, and I want to see if you can put it up to show that this is how disingenuous this argument becomes, because they want to make it look like that it's so voluminous in scripture, like that Hayah is in there so many times it couldn't possibly be right. But the thing is that it's not. The grammatical issue is that it's multitude of spellings to be or I was. It's a multitude of spellings in the scriptures that you can see. If you look up the Hebrew 1961, you'll see it's not just spelled with the ha yad ha. And I mean, I'm not trying to talk over, talking the way we're brothers, like, but I don't understand what he's saying. Let's just say it this way. The way the Most High put his name with the I prefix in front of it is a declaration that's different than the verb that a lot of people try to combat. And that's what I want to show here. Bro, scroll down to, we got to go to after that. We want to go to the part where we start talking about, we show in the scriptures where the Most High's name is written, and that there are books out there that talks about it, that the Most High, as I am, is written as a name in the book. And that when he even spoke to the northern kingdom in Hosea, he literally said, I will not be with you. It's literally the Ha Yad Ha, or the Ahaya, or the name that he gave in Exodus 3:14 is in the scriptures as a name that they purposely wanted to translate it as I will be and I was, to throw you off the fact that the Most High was literally talking in the same name that he gave to Masha. So scroll down a little bit more, bro. We're going to scroll down till we get to, let's see. I'll tell you when to stop. Scroll down, keep scrolling. The one where you see the three Moses, I mean the three patriarchs' faces. And if y'all want, there we go. Stop right here. Stop right. Go back up. Go back up. Right there where we show the ancient, show the Paleo Hebrew. Scroll up a little bit more. Right there. So click on that.
All right.
Now, if you read in there, it says in Exodus 4 and 12 and 15, most English translations of the Bible have phrase I will be. It says to dissimulate a verb when the Almighty speaks to Moses prior to sending him to Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Taking a closer look at the modern Hebrew and the Paleo scripts, we see that the same name is given to Moses, I am. The I is a prefix, and we have highlighted in orange, Anake, and it's prior or prefixed over the Haya, which means I. He's letting you know he's a self-declaration. This is me. Anytime you see that with the Anake, that's when the Most High is saying his name. 95% of the time. I think it's one citation in Ruth. There's some ambiguity there. Outside that, the Most High is saying his name. You see it right there. And the orange highlight that we have up there is what precedes it. It's the I word in Hebrew. In Hebrew, we didn't run around saying I all the time. You got two ones. I think there's the Hebrew 589 and the Hebrew 595. When you see that I in front of it, that's the name right there. And you can see the words in Exodus 4 and 12. But guess how they translate it? Now therefore go, and I will be with thee, with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say. When it really should say, now therefore go, and the name the Most High gave will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou should say. The same thing he said in Exodus 3:14. Oddly enough, the same thing he said in Exodus 3 and 12. When you see that prefix of I, the Hebrew 595, it is no longer a verb, but a noun. So when brothers is talking about grammar, it has nothing to do with grammar. What did he say? Let's just put it that way. What did the Most High say? And if it's really about grammar, then why use the tetragrammaton when it's not a Hebrew word? Go into your ancient Hebrew lexicon. The tetragrammaton is not even a Hebrew word within our language. You can only look it up in the Brown's Driver Briggs. You can only look it up in the Strongs. You can't look it up in the ancient Hebrew lexicon because it's not a Hebrew word. Go into your Encyclopedia Britannica and it'll break down how it's not even from the Hebrew language. But we're talking about grammar? How are you talking about grammar with something that's not even in the language? You got to be a Johnny-come-lately to use it. It should be as simple as the Most High said a thing and we did it. We got to go through all this back and forth to see the brainwashing, to see what they did. It behooved them. Look, you got brothers running around arguing about pronunciation. They're all using the same letters. Nah, man, it's Yahweh. Nah, man, it's Yahweh. Y'all know it's Yahuwah. Nah, it's Yahusha. It's none of them. I don't care how you pronounce it, it's none of them.
You know, I always had the assumption when I read Exodus 3 and 14 that the I ams were capitalized to turn them into nouns.
The only place you see it is in Exodus 3:14. They didn't even give us the respect to show it in all the places that is at. What they did was they was like, nah, man, look up the Hebrew 1961. And because that's in there thousands of times, they never even say to us that it got about 50 different spellings. They put them all under the 1961 so to make it look like it's ridiculous that this verb would be the Most High's name. But if you look it up, it's 50 of them, man. When you look them up, it's different citations. You got wa, ya, had. You got ya, all under the 1961. And in your mind, you say, oh, no, that's just the verb hyh. They cunningly did this to us and we fell for it. All they got to do is pull another rabbit out their hat by pulling out another stone. Didn't the Most High say we forgot his name for Bill? Didn't the Most High say that the scribes pen do lie? Everything but what he told us we do. And you'll have cats making it something that is not. Like this is the greatest trick ever fooled.
I'm over here cracking up with brother Cleo and Najee. They sent old boy to the asylum.
Yeah, man, let them slide off. Because you always got somebody that come through. But if it was really important, cats, people would have watched the lesson. But I mean, we too monotone. You know, it's too dry rub. It's a dry rub. It's like salt and pepper dry rub and not putting no other stuff on it like paprika. It's just straight to the point. You know.
You know, I'm not gonna say you was too ambitious with that lesson. I just think that the people aren't at that level of understanding. The majority of them, like, think about it. A lot of people that do call on the name and know the name correctly, they still don't have the understanding that you're not even supposed to be using the name like that. And like when you talk to somebody about proving the name, man, you're not going to get anything outside of outside of maybe Exodus 3 and 14. You know, and that's a valid scripture because the Most High said so. But when you look at this lesson and you look at that PowerPoint, the level of understanding that's theologian, PhD.
But it's critical. It's critical information because we show even you using your subis within the same PowerPoint we're showing you. Even if you don't want to listen to us dry rub the situation, you can just scroll through and you can see where we show you ancient scriptures, ancient documents that represent Exodus 3:15, and it means Lord. It literally is Lord in that verse. There is no competition of names because originally the YHWH was never there. When you hear Josephus talking, you hear Philo talking, they're citing it. You read in your students of classical history, they're really looking at it as the Lord God. That's why Christ says, he's the God of the living and not the dead, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac and Jacob. That's literally how Exodus 3:15 reads. There was no tetragrammaton there. It was snuck in. And let me tell you, even if you don't want to believe what we're saying, so you're like, nah, I want to keep on going to the memorabilia shop and I want to keep on getting my t-shirts and my wristbands because I like how it looked. It's styled right. Even if you want to believe that, you still got to say to yourself, if it was always there, why insert it in places it wasn't?
Hey, brother Lasha. Sorry to barge in. I have a quick question. Sort of a request also. Can you explain what it means to actually use the name?
I'm gonna say this example that we went into when we did the lesson that Philo said. He said, if a man reverenced his father, he would not call him by his name. See, the thing is about so it be written in your forehead. That's what it says in Revelation 14:1. We're not even saying we pronounce it right. We don't know if it's AI or any other pronunciation we might use. But what's written in our forehead is the letters that he said to Moses, go tell the people that. So somebody can come along and say, well, y'all don't say it right. How do you know? We're not saying we do. We're just saying that we recognize what the mouth of the Most High said. That's it. So in that, knowing that we are the children of the kingdom, what man would invalidate his position as a son or a daughter to then be called a servant? We are the children of the kingdom. It's a benefit us to say father. It's not no benefit to us to throw a name on a t-shirt talking about Yahweh. That right there invalidates us as slaves. That invalidates us as the nations. The Most High, the Mashiach said, say father. When the last time any of y'all in here said, yo, say your dad's name was Bill. Yo, Bill. This ain't no Joe Jackson situation where he told his kids, call him Joseph. That nigga
really
was crazy.
Disrespectful. It's really crazy. Disrespectful.
Damn right it's disrespectful. When the last one of y'all called y'all dad by his name? Only time you've ever even said your dad's name is to tell somebody else it. And that was what our position was. If a person was worthy, chiefly one of the dispersed of our people, we would say, well, the father's name is this. Or we would point him to where it's at. But in respect to our Father, if we respect our fathers, you're trying to say that the Most High gets a lower level of respect than we would give our own pops? You don't even call your own pop by his name. You say dad. So what does the Most High say in the scriptures that's always sounded somber to me? And I don't want to say it like that. He says, if I be a father, where is mine honor? Why is the Most High saying that? That's not what the Most High should have to say. If I be a father, where is mine honor? He is a father. Oh, my bad. We want to be on the first name basis. We part of the Jackson 5.
I want to ask you another question too, Elisha. But before I ask it, I wanted to say also, to dovetail off what you just said, even Mashiach, when he tell us to pray, he didn't tell us to invoke any names. He said to say, "Our Father which is in heaven," and then he continued on with the prayer. He didn't tell us that we had to invoke any names and all of that stuff, because there's only one Father in heaven.
That's right.
Right. But I wanted to ask you, how many variations do you see of the Most High's name? And I'm talking about the correct one that we know.
There's only one.
There's
no variations and nothing like that. And then our people knew better than to name geographical locations by that name. That name was only used one time in the Holy of Holies by the high priest of each year. You didn't just run around saying it. We had a law, I believe it was Leviticus 24:16, which we quoted out of Philo, that said if you name the Most High name unseemly, you be put to death. So our people had a tendency, we didn't just say the name like that. The same way we don't say our own father's names, which Philo gave a good breakdown saying, hey, we don't say the Most High's name, not because we're in some violations, because who shows respect to their father by calling him by his first name? And the Most High is greater than our earthly fathers that he gave to us to bear seed, to put us on the earth. If we give our fathers that respect, how's it that we somehow diminish them all? And we say he wants his name to be said. No, he wants his name to be known. He wants it to be known by his children.
I asked that question for a reason, and I want you to expound on something. So in the book of Hosea, chapter 2, verse 16 through 17, it says, "And it shall be at that day, saith the Lord, that they shall call me Ishi, and shall call me no more Baali. For I will take away the names of Balaam out of their mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name." So the reason why I asked about if there was variations, because this future prophecy that we read about in Hosea says that the Most High is going to take names of Balaam, meaning different variations of these names out of the people's mouths. So if you only have one variation of the name that the Most High said, which is I am, right? Then by process of elimination, you can see that those names that are being called on right now are actually prevalent, or those names that are going to be taken out are actually prevalent to us today. That means that a large amount of people are calling on the wrong names.
Well, we can go into the book of Judges when the Most High, we can go into the book of Judges, and we can go into places where it talks about Baal and Asherah or Ashareth. There's something called the Kilamajit Ajaru, I believe it's called, where it literally says Yahweh and his Asherah, represented by two calves. I am has no equal in our language. The equal to it in the sense of a name would be the Hebrew 34:26, which is Yash. Yash being the first four letters of the Mashiach's name as a savior. Not only that, that same Yash is in our name as Yasharel. See, the family name has nothing to do with throwing Yah at the back of every name. It has more to do with the Most High, the meaning of the Most High's name, and what is the meaning that supports it. Christ's name or the Mashiach's name being Yeshai or Yeshaya, just meaning savior, has the same letters or the same formation that Yasharel has, and those are the only equivalents. You can look it up for yourself. Look up the Hebrew 1961, look up the Hebrew 3426, and you're going to see the family name of our people starts with the Mashiach, whose name starts with Yash, and then Yasharel. We did an AI search on that to show the connection that that's a family name, not just throwing Yahoo or Yah at the back of a name. But even to expound upon what the brother was just saying, there is documentation out there where the tetragrammaton is attached to other idols. There's history out there that shows that that name was used by the ancient Babylonians before we was even formed as a nation. And they used the three-letter variant, the three-letter version, which was Yahoo. Or Yahoo. They used Yahoo. Now, the only thing that was later on as a mimicking move was the H. Because once you have ancient civilizations using the YAHU or Yahoo, that right there is already the first formation of the tetragrammaton, and the Babylonians was using it. We got a document that shows that the Babylonian was used before we was even a nation. Going to the book of Jasher. Jasher, the Ethiopian wife in there was named Adanya. Adanya means Lord Yah. How could the Ethiopian wife of Moses bear a name that had not even been given to him yet? So this name was out there. What did the Most High just liked him? Was like, yo, let me steal that. What, it was like some Jay-Z move, how he steal people work, and he said, you know what, I like that sound, and he took it. No,
I got something for you, bro. Did you read that right there, bro?
Can you brothers expound on Psalm 68 and 4? I need some understanding. Well, Psalm 68 and 4 says the word Yah. And this is really simple.
I'll read it for you.
All right, grab it up.
All right, so
read Psalm 68 and 4.
So we can be thorough about it. All right. I'm going to share my screen. Did I stop sharing my screen? I must have stopped sharing it.
Yeah.
Let me know if you need me to present it, Brother Bonnie.
I got it, brother.
All
right, so here we are right here. Can you see it?
Yeah.
So Psalm 68 and 4 says, sing unto the Most High, sing praises to his name, extol him that rideth upon the heavens by his name Jah, and rejoice before him.
Some translation of the Hebrew 3050, because that's what that is, the Hebrew 3050, it says Yah. And the thing about this is that if you go into the book of Philo, he says that we didn't say the Most High's name by his very word. So we use alterations. I'm going to give you an example. When Philo talks about the name of the Most High, he said his proper name is I am that I am. Now, the reason he goes out and says the whole name is his proper name is because Philo has so much respect for the Most High. He didn't say the one word name he gave to Moses. He gave the reverence by saying the whole thing. So he literally says word for word, the Most High's proper name is I am that I am. To answer your question, brother, is that within the I am name, guess what's in there too? Brother, you want to tell him, brother, you want to take away the suspense? What's inside the name I am that's like the tetragrammaton that they use to steal from us? The word what? Yah. So if our people use the Hebrew 3050, it was to avoid saying the whole name out of respect. And yes, YAH is also in the name that the Most High gave to Moses. So it's not like the people can say, well, it's only in the tetragrammaton. No. It's actually in the name that the Most High told Moses by mouth, by voice, when you go to the children of I am and send me to you. Look up those letters and you'll see that Yah is in it as well. And the reason that short would be used is because our people did not want to get into the whole thing of saying the whole name because they had that much respect to it. So when Philo says he didn't want to say its very word, he was talking about, I didn't want to say it all the way out. That's not for me to do. So I'll give you a short form, or I'll give you the whole thing he said in Exodus 3:14. But I'm not going to say the very word out of respect and deference.
Hey, bro, what's the original tetragrammaton though? Because the tetragrammaton, it means 4 letters, right?
Right.
That's
the original tetragrammaton is 3 letters.
The original is 3.
The original's 3. If you go back to the ancient Babylonians, that's why if you go into what's the John not the Moabite stone, but the one to the Edomites. It was called the Shiatsu of Esau, Edom. And it's YHW. So I was like, damn, man, well, they got a portion of the name. Well, the thing was is that it evolved into 4 letters because everybody knew out of the mouth of Josephus that the Most High's name had 4 vowels. And all of a sudden, over time, that 3-letter word turned into 4. And guess what made it 4? Now, mind you, this is the part where I would say our study and scholarship, this is something that we come to believe as the attachment. When you look at Asharaf, Asharaf being the wife of Yahweh, has the H on the back of her name. If Yahweh or Yahoo originally being 3 letters, it gets, because of the marriage of the two, gets that H at the back of it and becomes from 3 letters to 4. Look it up historically. You'll see that the tetragrammaton, what is known as the tetragrammaton now, which is a theft because it was originally 3 letters by the ancient Babylonians, and then it got the 4th letter. From where, you might add? Because, and this is just, mind you, this is us. This is me saying that this is how I look at it. I'm not going to say that this is the factual part in the sense that this is what everybody is saying. But when you look at the marriage between Asharaf, look at the Kilimajit Arut, where you see Yahweh and his Ashereth, and the connection is the suffix of the H is from the wife, which is Ashereth. And that 3-letter word then becomes what? A 4-letter word. It goes from YHW to YHWH because of the wife, which is in scripture. When you go into the book of Judges, when it talks about Ashereth and Baal, you can see it all throughout the book. When the Most High, when Elijah fought the prophets of Baal, that those 2 connections is connected through that. And like you said, that part right there, the H being added to it, is just a part of our research and study, and it looks like the probable way it happened. I'm not saying that this is what you're normally going to get from people. I'm saying that that's what we've come to our conclusion was. So that part right there is us telling you how we see that situation. So don't try to throw it out there like we said some prominent scholars said.
That's just what we deduce from, just based off of the compile of all the information and understanding how deceptive these people are, and understanding that they would do it. I mean, you can't put that past them if they would put a pin to ancient documents, so
and it don't belong to them. Like, matter of fact, I want us to go back to the PowerPoint because I think that is necessary that y'all see that even in the book of Hosea, the brother just quoted, one of the most powerful parts about it is when the Most High says his name in Hosea, that he will no longer be with the northern kingdom. And I want us to go to that because it's cited in a book, I believe. Let's scroll, matter of fact, let me go to, I want us to see that because there's other places where I am is actually there. And it's always prefixed with Anak, the Hebrew 595. If I can get this thing here we go. I'm gonna scroll down to it. I'm gonna tell you, just keep scrolling down, brother. I want us to go to that exact part. If you can, go back and look at this PowerPoint. Just scroll through the slides, read them yourself.
If any of you brothers, I'm sorry, if any of you brothers that's man in the chat or the visuals, if you can grab the link to that video and post it inside of the chat, that'd be great.
We'll do, bro. I got it.
All right.
Yeah, if you start scrolling, it's a we want to go down to, you gotta go down pretty far because I want to just go to that part where it shows the Most High's name is actually in the book of Hosea. And
you know what? I'm gonna go all the way to the end because I wanted to say something. Look how massive this PowerPoint is. You got over 107 slides. So if you're a person that wants knowledge and understanding, and you really taking this serious about knowing the Most High's name and knowing how to handle the Most High's name, right? You should be watching this video. All right. If you're at a certain level of understanding and you're ready to digest that information, you should be watching this lesson. You should be watching that lesson. But I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead.
No. I just want you to go. My bad, bro. I didn't mean to interrupt you, so please forgive me. Go down to the slide that says order in history. Even if you just want to screenshot the slides, go back and disprove it. I'm not telling you to go back just to listen to what we're saying. Disprove everything we're saying. Go back and say, you know what? I believe the Most High said his name in Genesis 4:26. Disprove what we're saying. We want you to do the opposite of just agreeing with us. Go back with the mindset to disprove it, and then you will find that the proof is the truth. Brother, if you
Can
don't
you see it?
mind reading, yeah, I see it, bro. It's one that we got. Let's see. I want you to scroll down again. I want you to go to the one where we got the Paleo Hebrew script at the back as the back slide. So scroll down a little more. We should see it. There's one. You might have to scroll up then. Yeah, get scroll. Oh yeah, my back. It keeps scrolling. There's
Scrolling
one where
up.
we got continue. There's one where we got the Paleo Hebrew in the back. And keep going. I think is it that one? It should be because the one I'm looking at on my phone. Matter of fact, just let's see. Well, that's us showing inside the scriptures. Which version is that?
Oh, you got a lot of order in his. Hold on.
Yeah,
Let me
because there's
get.
one in there where we got the ancient Hebrew behind the slide on the order in history.
Okay.
And when you see that slide, it shows what the true reading of Hosea should be when the Most High separates himself. There, I think, is it that one? Go. I think it might be that one right there.
This one.
No, that's the one for Exodus 4 and 12. Click on the next one. All right, let's read this one. It says, in framing the passage of the thorn bush episode, Exodus 3:12 and 14, Ai has the meaning I will be with you. And the Chicago translation just paraphrases Ai in 4 and 12 as I will help you. Though the paraphrase destroyed the structure of the text, because this is what they purposely did. They kept changing up the meaning of it to make it sound like a verb. They easily could have transcribed it to say to be the name the Most High gave, like it was supposed to be. It said the meaning that God will be present as the helper, furthermore, is confirmed by the instruction to Moses to tell the people, Ai has sent me to you. Exodus 3:14. The passage would have to be paraphrased, the one who is present as your helper has sent me to you. That's the Most High saying, like, he's not the Most High is not a man that he should be named. He's just letting you to know the difference between him and other gods, or there is no other gods. Please, Father, forgive me for saying that. It's just to let you know I'm the one who's there all the time. The Most High's eyes is in every secret place, beholding the good and the evil. That's all the name was supposed to mean. I'm gonna give you a name to tell you my always presence. You know that presence that the Christian church gives Satan, that he's there every second of the day to tempt you. And there's only one there all the time, and that's the Most High. His name was to represent, hey, I'm with Israel. That's what it was supposed to mean. I'm the one that's with you. It says, the one who is present as your helper has sent me to you. In the light of this meaning, supported by the prophecy of Hosea, must be understood the central Ai Asher is usually translated as I am who I am, unless we introduce extraneous philosophical categories. The text can only be meant that God, I can't see the bottom.
Hold on, I'm trying to enhance it. My bad.
Okay.
That's my bad, bro. I didn't went all the way.
That's all right, brother, because it's even in this place right here, if you go back to it, it shows the Most High's name in that place. I'm just saying to you, they purposely deceived us to make it look like that the name that was given to us is not there when it is, because they knew we wasn't going to study it. They knew that it was a better chance that if we wanted a brand new car, we would study the engine, the make, the model, the seats. We would study the year, all that. They knew we was not going to go into our own language to prove things that's plainly there. They wrote them in books. You think this is some philosophical conversation they're having that don't mean anything? Somebody gonna pull a rabbit out their hat, they're gonna go get the Joash inscription, the Geezer calendar. Oh, look right here is YHWH. And well, I'll tell you this, it's a reason we got kicked out of the land. And it's a reason the Most High says we forgot his name for Baal. It's not a testimony that we would always remember. We
Hey,
are
bro.
visual people. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, brother Lasha. I thought you were done. I'm gonna
No,
post
I'm
the
sorry.
sisters. I'm gonna post the sisters' question on the screen. Can you address that?
It says, are we to understand the biggest issue in our understanding is the breakdown of the Hebrew language? Does it start with the language or the defiled text or both? It's not so much that the text is defiled. It's really about us being coherent. If the Most High say a thing, it should be as simple as that. Don't you know? Y'all want to know a story about how I learned the name? I believe the Tetragrammaton, Brother Bonnie one day said, "What did the Most High say?" And it rung in my brain so much I couldn't even get past it. It's really the fact that what did he say? See, we got to go through all these hoops just to come back to the main source question. What did he say? If you go to Jeremiah, I believe the 23rd chapter, my bad, I think it's chapter 7, verses 22 and 23, where the Most High says, in the day that I led your fathers, I spoke to them not of burnt offerings and sacrifices, but what I did say to them is obey my voice and you should be my people and I'll be your God. He said, obey his voice. We don't do that. He literally said a thing and somebody told us within one verse he changed his mind. And they didn't even show the stuff to you. They gave you a capital letter, Lord, and they told you what was behind it, and you believed them. You believed them. They validated Josephus and then invalidated him, and you believed them. They validated Hosea and then invalidated him, and you believed them. They brought up the Moabite stone, said, look right here. You didn't even read the transliteration of the Moabite stone to see that it was an idol that was inside the temple in the northern kingdom, which was separated for that very activity, which it tells you in the first book of the Kings, chapter 12 and chapter 13. Nah, my bad. Precept upon precept is not according to history. So our problem is that we don't listen. That's why the Bible says our neck is like sinew. If it was really as simple as it is, then the Most High would say a thing, and it wouldn't even matter what they added to the scriptures. The scriptures is not defiled, it's us. It's our reasoning, our willing to listen, our willing to be obedient is defiled. Or would it just been as matters like Brother Bonnie said? What did he say? Nobody ever says that. Somebody's going to pull a rabbit out their hat and they're going to grab some obscure text. Look, it's right here. So that's the problem, sister. We don't obey.
That's a really good question, though, too. That's a really good question. Because I mean that kind of heads to the root of the issue, you know. Yeah. And then the root of the issue is not the translations, it's not the language, it's our willingness to be obedient to the word. Because the Most High said, with a stammering lip in another tongue will he speak to his people. So the Most High is not without an avenue or way to communicate with his people, you know. But are we listening? Are we listening? Because he said that should be his appellation throughout all generations. Mm-hmm. This should be my name. He said that. But what do? We throw that away for the stuff that the Jewish people gave us. Mm-hmm. Why? Because they get the people who are kind of feeble-minded and they convince them that they're smarter than you. So we've been in the land and we got the language and we got the scrolls, right? Yeah, they're our enemies, but they're gonna teach us the name that we can call on against them.
You got our brothers. You got our brothers talking about it's a grammatical issue. Grammar. Like, you got our people doing that. But it's funny that our brothers would say that for what? Why would you say it's a matter of grammar? When you hear the words the Most High say, this is what you're to tell the people. The Most High created grammar. Most High created the language. So now we have to argue about grammar with a word that's not even in the ancient Hebrew lexicon. We got to argue about something that was clearly said by the Babylonians before we was formed as a nation. They mimic every aspect of what the Most High gave us. That's why, I still want to go to that slide that was spoken to Hosea, because it has so much power. When he said, the Most High said, I would take my name from you. It literally, I am is there. And it's a scary tone to it when you hear the Most High saying, I will not be with you. They translated it that way to make it sound like, some verbs being spoken. But does it do anything to the people that we have text that says I am is his proper name? Does that do anything for you? Show me an ancient text where they say the Tetragrammaton is the Most High's name. We got the citing from Theoret where he said the Jews say Aya and the Samaritans say Io. which is the meaning of tetragrammaton. Why was it particularly the Jews of Theret of I think it was I can't remember where he was from. It's in our slide. I can't remember the exact location that he was at. Theret of where was he at? Anyway, he said that the Jews in the 4th century said Ai, which was the Greek form of saying the name the Most High gave in Exodus 3:14. He said the Samaritan was the one running around with the tetragrammaton. And we know the Samaritans, because we followed after them, worship the calves. We see it in the book. So is this it right here? Is this the
I don't
one I'm
know.
looking for? I don't know why that slide is not
Let
coming.
me ask you, though, bro. Let me before you get into. Let me ask you one more question, and I'm gonna chill back for a second. How many different sources did you reference in this particular lesson that you did?
Bro, I can't say the exact number, but we cited different Bibles. We cited different historians. We cited that this is a known thing amongst theologians and teachers. I couldn't tell you how many citations we use, but we have a plethora of them so people can see that this is not hidden information. The brother here says, what is the true name of the Most High? The name that he gave in Exodus 3:14. How to pronounce it, you can go with how people pronounce it, Aya or Haya, but that is the name that was given. I don't even like that I said it that way because that's my father. I'm only declaring what you're asking me. You can find it in Exodus 3:14 when the Most High says to Moses, tell the children of Israel, I am have sent me unto you. And just for people who say that they don't like the I am thing because of how we say it in English, English is not Hebrew. We didn't speak in those type of ways. We didn't say I am going to the store and things like that, that it would be some regular verbs that we use to preface what we're doing. That's not how it would go. So people take how they understand the English language and they put it in Hebrew. We didn't use Anake, the Hebrew 595, or the Hebrew, sometimes more likely people use the Hebrew 589, which is say Ane as I. And it was seldomly done that we would do that. Because we didn't draw attention. It would almost be disrespectful to say I did a thing for spiritual people because we already know the Most High did everything. So for us, it's a form of sacrilege when we would say I in ancient times. So the Most High, when he attached that prefix to the name that he gave to Moses, was really the main one who used that.
You know what's interesting, bro? Like we sent this video to several people, you know, and nobody, and we're talking about like we sending it to the guy that used to be a part of Sakari, the Genesis guy. They didn't want to touch it. We send it to what's his name? To Zariah. He didn't want to touch it. You send it to Gabar.
Even to Gabar, man. He jumped to
Gabar. He didn't want to touch it. None of these guys wanted to touch it or try to refute it, but they still teaching the same stuff.
What fruit was in it? And don't go to the start of it talking about, the tetragram was mentioned. Y'all said it wasn't. We're talking about in any ancient source. Like you have documents that have variations of the tetragram, but largely inserted. It's not even consistent with the script that's being used. And somebody said, well, that was people were showing respect by using the paleo form. Like, well, the paleo form wouldn't be what you would start with. It would be the pictographic form if you want to be technical. But the point is that you can go through it, just disprove it. Go through each point that we made and just disprove it all. Be like, yo, y'all lied. Be like, no, don't call us liars because we believe what we say. Go back and say, you know what, y'all are wrong. It's really that simple.
I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. Right? Because I used to be a part of the GOCC, you know, and when we stepped away from, or when I stepped away from them, I didn't step away and go on this crusade against everything that they believe, you know, because of my differences with that particular church or any individual in there, right?
Right.
So I'm saying this, I'm saying that to say this. You brothers that's leaving certain spots, man, and just trying to change up because you got alts with them, that's not the right spirit to be in, man. You don't want to get into a spirit where you just teaching people lies because you got a problem with who you was formerly with. You was with them for years and you didn't say anything about it. See what I'm saying? But now that you're not a part of them and now you're saying stuff, it's not a good look.
Well,
You understand?
you know,
I didn't do it because I didn't want to alienate the brothers and sisters that I knew. And yeah, like I'm forever grateful to the people who taught me who I am. You know, I can always look back and say and acknowledge that I wouldn't have got that information without them. All right. It's not to say they right on everything, but I'm telling you, you can't change what you believe based off of you having an issue with someone. That's not the way the spirit's supposed to work. And I just wanted to say that real quick.
But just to go with what you said, the brother Gabar, who was formerly a GOCC, he had a video recently where he was trying to prove that the name was the Tetragrammaton. Now, he did assert that the name was the same name GOCC was using. And then when he left, I guess he had pause. And one of the main things he cited was the Moabite stone. And this brother was an elder in their church. And I'm saying, he was, okay, how could the Moabite stone prove to you that the Most High's name, like he made it look like that was a big deal? If you're using history and precepts, the Moabite stone is the last thing you would want to use to establish that the Most High's name is in any way the Tetragrammaton or the YHWH. For the reasons that we already explained. That there is no vessels that the Moabites would know about to say we took the vessels of Yahweh. What vessels would you attribute to them other than the vessels that is known from the Book of the Kings, that the calves that they put in their own temple? And you're witnessing them saying they took it out the temple. We know that the northern kingdom did not follow the same way the southern kingdom did. Because one of the things Jeroboam said was that I don't want the people to go up to Jerusalem and their heartbeat go after the tribe of Judah. So you know that the Moabite stone is giving you a history of that. And we got a video where we broke that down. Point by point, brick by brick, precept upon precept, history for history. You know, and it's not that we just trying to throw out their explanations. We're giving you the truth, not the bull crap. I'm talking about well-studied, well-searched out truth. And if you want to disprove it, be my guest. Disprove everything we put in here, brick by brick. Now, I still want to, I just want to, because it's inside the manuscript, I want us to look at this slide, if I can get it, because I'm thinking I'm looking at a different version than what the brother's looking at.
Yeah,
so I want you to.
There's a lot of slides, bro.
Yeah, I know, bro. It is a lot. So I tell you what, just scroll slowly, and then I'm gonna be like, stop somewhere.
I'm up in 60 something. So man,
hold. Matter of fact, there you go, right there. Stay right there. Go back. Oh, damn.
Oh, I was in 60. So hold on.
It was one that says Hosea. Go scroll back down, bro. You had passed it. You was in one that said Hosea, and I think that was it. Keep going. There's one that say Hosea, and that's the one I want to click on. There we go. Right. I think is that right? Click on that one right there under it. The one under it. Right there. I think this Hosea? No, that's the one in Psalms. But even in this, it shows you the Ane inside the book of Psalms. Yeah, that's the one right there. And it says, then said God, call his name Lomi, for ye are not my people, and Ahia not your God. The Most High literally says in the scriptures, you see the Anake, he literally says the name he gave to Moses in this verse, as in the God that was with you is no longer with you. You don't even understand how powerful that is. And they hid it from you. They hid it from you by feeding you a verb saying, oh, you'll just read, I will not be your God. Well, God is in italics. Literally, it says the name that he gave to Moses will not be with you. Scroll back up, Aki, and it's the one. Let's look at that one we was in Psalms. The one that we just passed over. The one that says, so right under it. There you go, right there.
This one?
Yeah, right there. Read that. Read this whole situation right here, and you'll see the name the Most High gave to Moses is in the book of the Psalms. When it says, these things hast thou done, and I kept silent. Thou thoughtest that Ahiah was altogether such as thyself. I will reprove thee and set thee in order before thine eyes. What do you see in that same verse? You see the I am in this verse. But they translated that I was altogether. Now that's interesting. If the same lettering formation means one thing in Exodus 3:14, somehow it means something different in other places. Chiefly when we have the I at the front of it, representing his presence. A lot of times represented by the Hebrew 595 and the Hebrew 589. This one, it has Hayatha, again, in the prefix. But you always know that I. And he's telling you, I'm not like you. And if you look at this book that we cited, this book right here, I believe we had the skin to that book, but we'll just read from it. It says, as we can see, the translators erroneously rendered the Hebrew 1961, which appears back to back as that I was altogether, but in fact, the name of the Almighty is spoken in admonishment. And this is the book that we're citing here, where it quotes the exact analysis of it. In Psalms 50 and 20, it is important to highlight not only the text, the textual context, but also the translation of, excuse me, I was altogether thyself. We take notice that the Hebrew 1961, Hebrew 1961 exclusively represents by the Hebrew letters Hayah. Damn, my allergies. Hayah. You'll see that.
All right, man.
It's, yeah, yeah, man. Look, bro. I've been struggling with my allergies for a few days now. But also, if you see the letters there, it said it is not of great importance to note that Psalms 50 and 21 implicates the Almighty spoke of himself by the name given to Moses at the burning bush, citing the commentary of the Book of Psalms, Volume 2. And this book we're citing right here is actually called the Book of the Psalms, Volume 2, where it highlights this particular verse as the Most High's name of the presence that he gave to Moses is in this verse. And this is not even us just reaching. But there are other books that use textual criticism of the scriptures or of the wording and tells you where these things are. Some of them, at least. Go down to the next slide, bro. Is right under that one. And this was the commentary on the Book of the Psalms, Volume 2, and it goes into, it says, these things thou hast done, and I kept silent, and thou thoughtest that I would be like thyself. I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. It Horsley translates these two clauses as follows: these things thou hast done, and I will still. Thou hast thought that I am is such and one as thyself. He thinks that the words me, or the Most High's name, Hayah, which Calvin renders I would be, have been misunderstood by all interpreters, and maintains that they should be rendered as I am is. All interpreters says he seems to have forgotten that I am, or Ayah, is the name which God takes to himself in the third chapter of Exodus, and he observed that it is with particular propriety that God in I can't even see the whole word, expostulating with his people for their breach of covenant, calls himself by the name by which he was pleased to describe himself to the same people. When he first called them by his servant Moses, and that's representing the Septuagint, renders Hayoth as a noun substantive to Ai, as the first person future of the substantive verb. And it gives the Greek wording that was in the Septuagint, that though thou thoughtest wickedly that I should be like thee. So you got documentation, and this is just some of it, where it shows that the people who translated these verses understood that the Most High's name is in other places. And we showed a lot of those places within the PowerPoint. To establish that, this is not something that was some verb that wasn't in there. It actually is in there exactly the way the Most High gave it to Moses. And we're going to keep coming back to this subject over and over again. We got to go back through the PowerPoint brick by brick to establish this truth. If we got to tear down the false, we're going to do it again and again and again, because it's of the utmost importance. The Exodus is important. Us being sovereign as a nation is important, declaring who we are, and the Most High's name, which Revelation says those written in their foreheads, is important. We have to show that they lied to us, and a lot of our people is still deceived by it. With that, I don't want us to go any further today, but we will touch this subject again. If the brothers want to say anything else on the subject.
No, all I don't know. I'm not trying to toot our own horn, but the two live that we did on that, the documents, the research, the PowerPoint, that's indicative of how Salt of the Earth operates. When we give you some information, we dig. We're not going to sit up here before the people and be guilty of giving out false information. We don't give out information just because we see it aligns with what we believe. We do real peer review, we do real analysis, and we do real vetting when it comes to the information. Again, if you consider yourself a scholarly individual, and you think that you're at the level to understand what was put out, I really encourage you to look at that document and to look at that live so that you would know the truth of the matter. And also I would say again, like, we know what the Most High's name is, but we don't use his name like that, because that's our Father. That's disrespectful. You don't see any other nation walking around with the name of their gods on their hats and on their shirts and on their sneakers and being posted everywhere. It's disrespectful, and that's the reason why, people are able to come in here, I guess, and maybe say different names, because we're never really declaring, but the name that the Most High gave in Exodus 3:14 is the one that we believe is his name, and that's pretty much it, brother.
So, Brother Najee, did you want to say anything?
Nah, I just wanted to get back on camera while we're closing for the closeout. All good brothers. Brother Lasha did a great job again on the same subject. I hope people, if this wasn't clear, just please go back. You can actually put it on double speed if that's good for you. You can skip around, because there's a lot of information in that other live that we did. And like Brother Bonnie was just pulling up the slides from that live, as you can see, there are tons of slides there. We're just reading. We're just dishing out the information to you. So this was just the condensed, short version of it. Hopefully, we answered a lot of the questions that you had. If you guys have any more questions, you could always put them in the chat afterwards. Our brother Cleo is very good in going back to the lives and looking at the chat and answering any questions that you might have. So again, thanks, Brother Lasha. Thanks all the brothers for being on again, and thank you, fam. We appreciate it.
This is not the last on this subject y'all seen either.
That's right. Yeah, we're going to come back at this subject. We're going to address different slides. We can probably put them up as shorts. We're going to give it to you in a way that you can digest it constantly, because this is very, very important, especially for people looking to be delivered, that we know what the Most High said. And like we said before, this is not about pronunciation. It's not, because we can't say definitively that we're pronouncing it right. We're just saying that the letters we see that the Most High gave to Moses is the proper name that he gave. Just as simple as that. And we will go into more definitive answers when some of our fathers literally said the Most High's proper name is I am that I am. Like, they said it out their mouth. But you don't see anybody quoting that. because for some reason, somebody got pulled a rabbit out they had and connect the tetragrammatons. Oh yeah, the tetragrammatons, the third person singular to high. Listen, they have no equivalent to each other. If you really want to see what's connected to the I am, go to the Hebrew 34:26, which we will talk about that too, to show that our true family name goes from the Hebrew 1961 to the Hebrew 34:26 to the name of Yasharel is our actual family name. We actually did an AI deep dive to show the cohesion and the symmetry of those of that family name, not just throwing Yah at the front of the back of your name. This stuff is just outrageous, you know. So we'll get into that, and it's not to say anything bad about anybody, but go ahead, brother. You was gonna say?
Hey, one more thing, brother Elisha. I think it'd be good for you to kind of clear up John 8, where our King and Savior Hamashiach says something that makes, I believe it's John 8. Hopefully I didn't get that. But he says something that makes the people fall backwards. Can you explain that just
I tell you
before we
what,
leave?
hold on. Why don't we go to that verse and see what he said?
I believe it's John
Because
8.
hold on, because this is the thing, and you know, and it's funny how, man, some of the Zoids get this right. Like even when we talk about the Mashiach, they be like, yeah, we got Jesus inside the English scriptures, and um we got Jesus and we got whatever Iusus, right? But if you really wanted to say savior in Greek, you would just say sotar. That's literally their word for savior. And if you wanted to say savior in Hebrew, you literally would say Yeshai. That's literally the word for savior. And you wanted to say my savior, you say Yeshai. Yeah. So to answer your question, what did he say in the book of John? Let's go to that verse.
Okay.
And
What
see what
verse
the
is it?
people let's grab, we got inside our lesson. Let me see. Let me grab it up real quick. If brothers don't grab it up before I because I'm on my phone using it. Let's see, 1 second. Y'all got it. Let's see, 1 second, bro. Let's see this.
It's John 18 and 6.
18 and 6. When we got
Yeah.
that within, we did break that down inside our lesson. But if you was to go into the Greek, we're gonna read it and then we're gonna talk about what it says in the Greek. Because there's usually certain terms. You got ego ami and ego ami hoan, you know, which is how the Greeks translated the I am, you know. But I think it's ego ami hoan in this one. So let's grab it up.
Okay.
Which Greek does not have no equivalent to Hebrew.
Should I share my screen real quick?
Yeah, share your
I
screen,
got it.
my key. And
Oh, you got it, bro? All right.
Yeah, I got it. I'll share it.
All right.
This is another reason why the Jewish people don't want to believe in Mashiach. Because he declared the true name to his people. And I already says, it's Brother Brown, did you want to read it?
Yeah. John 18 and 6. I'm gonna start from and I'll finish it off. And where is it? I'll start in John 18 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
They answered him, Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus said unto them, I am he. And Judas also, which betrayed him, stood with them. As soon then as he had said unto them, I am he, they went backwards and fell to the ground.
Now, he says that as soon as he says, I am he is in italics, but as soon as he said, I am, they went backwards and fell to the ground. Now, we're going to look at this and use some common sense. If the name was said out of everybody's mouth constantly, if I am was said or whatever, people would just constantly be on their face every time they walk by somebody. They would literally be just falling down because everybody had such reverence for it. But when the Mashiach said, "I am," or Igor Hamid Hoan, which is supposed to be the equivalent to what the name was to give to Moses, it says that they went backwards and fell to the ground. Soon as that name was said, soon as those words were uttered, they fell on there. They went back and fell to the ground. Now I don't see the Tetragrammaton there. I know people like to attach the Tetragram, say they have the same meaning, they don't. He says, now, bro, if you don't mind, go into the Greek concordance, if you have it, or go into the concordance so we can look up that. I think it's Igor Hamid Hoan in that verse. Because you got Igor Hamid, you got Igor Hamid Hoan.
I don't think I got
any
it.
of you don't got it? I'm going to grab it up on mine and I'll just read it. It's going to say the same thing, but I just want to show it in the concordance. And I'll just show my phone. That if there was any debate on what was the name that Christ used, that the Mashiach used, it should have ended with this particular verse right here. The fact that it says, as soon as he had said unto them, I am, which I in the Greek language is ego. I don't know if y'all can see that. Ego represents I, and you're even in your Septuagint. And you got ego on me, and you got ego on me, Hoan. Usually that's the one that was distinctive was said to Moses. I mean, the equivalent that they used. So you got ego, and then Emmy. So ego, Emmy, and the last part, which they probably not going to have in here, is Hoan, which was their way of saying I am. Not Iusus, not Yahweh, but I am. So is either the people fell down backwards because they heard a verb and they were so moved because they was like, how dare he grammatically say a verb, and he didn't. They fell down because they fall down all the time when they hear verbs being spoken, or they heard something so holy and set apart that as soon as they heard it, the very person that they was arresting was like, he said the name, they fell down on their face. They fell down backwards. My bad, I don't want to say their face. They fell down backwards to show reverence at the mere sound of it. If you just use common sense, you would say to yourself, obviously they wasn't making a practice of saying this all the time. Even if they did use it, they didn't. It was something that wasn't said all the time because everybody which had that respect. Something that we don't have today when we sell our memorabilia.
Thou should not take the name of the Most High in vain.
And that's definitely taking it in vain if you believe the name to be a thing and you got merchandise of it. It's really that simple. So I really want people to look at it. It's good that you brought that up, brother. That ask yourself, why would they fall backwards at the mention of the name that the Most High gave to Moses? Remember, that's not the name. That's a grammatical, fallacy. His message is wrong. But they sure respected it. So with that, unless we got any other questions, send your questions to our email. I'm more than happy to answer them. If y'all need us to go into a document, but go back and look at these slides.
Check out the lesson. Look at the slides. If it take you a couple of days to watch it at your own pace. You know what I mean? You can watch maybe 15 minutes to half an hour. Do that. And then you have something you can watch all week.
Absolutely.
But I think if you decide, if you have the capabilities of watching and you decide not to, you're depriving yourself of a lot of good knowledge and in the Most High's name. So
disprove it. Go back and watch.
With that being said, great job, brother Elisha, brother Cleo. Thanks for manning the chat. Always a great deal to be with the brothers. Najee, you ain't do nothing all day, so.
Yeah, Tommy Strong.
Great job, bro. All the brothers,
Najee.
great job, man. You know what I mean? Do you want to say something, bro?
Nah, but we if anybody want to support the channel, we're gonna start leaving the link to support the channel, help. Even if y'all want to join us as a family, we want to expand Salt of the Earth to have people that's with us, that's invested in this work. And whatever support y'all want, that the people want to give, we're going to allow those things to happen. And like I said, we pray that you join us, as when you talk to people, say, "Yeah, I'm a part of Salt of the Earth," you know. And so when you come,
Indeed.
when you,
So
right.
yeah, indeed. So we accept donations in the form of cash and in the form of help. You know, if you guys want to be a part of the Salt of the Earth and help us vet information and things like that, we're looking for people like that also. Help support the work, man. It's not easy, you know, putting these things together, the applications and things. That stuff costs money. You know, the more you brothers and sisters are able to donate, the more we'll be able to do for you guys and present to you. And that's pretty much it.
And it's optional, because we're going to do the work regardless. So don't think that, this ain't no pay to play. If you want to donate, it is an optional thing. We're going to do the work regardless. We're going to do it with all our heart, with all our might, with all our mind to serve the Most High. So never think that it's about that. We're going to do everything. We're going to put up is going to happen. If it come out of our pocket, we got, no matter what, we're going to get the work out. So whatever help, just to show that the Most High has blessed us and you've received something from it. If you feel inclined in your spirit, then do so. If not, you can show up for free, and we'll answer your questions no matter what.
With that, this has been another Salt of the Earth Productions. Shalom and blessings, family.